Hello everyone and welcome to my The Young and the Restless Soapy Stories channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. YNR spoilers. Audra's secret trauma revealed, why she truly hates Victor Newman. In an upcoming explosive arc on The Young and the Restless, Genoa City is about to be rocked by a revelation that no one sees coming, a buried trauma from Audra Charles's past that not only explains her cold ruthlessness, but also her secret vendetta against the most powerful man in town, Victor Newman. Audra has always been a mystery, alluring, razor-sharp, calculating. She's played the game at the highest level, switching allegiances with ease, seducing the right men, manipulating her rivals, and outmaneuvering business titans. From her tangled ties with Nate Hastings to her uneasy partnership with Tucker McCall, Audra has proven she's not just a player, she's a master. But her one persistent contradiction? Her seething, barely contained contempt for Victor. Until now, it's been subtle, hidden behind icy smiles, cutting sarcasm, and professional distance. But all of that changes next week when a confrontation at Newman Enterprises turns violent, raw, and unfiltered, and Audra finally cracks under pressure. The result? A chilling confession that sends shockwaves through the Newman family and flips the power dynamics in Genoa City on their head. Fire the Week begins with tensions rising. It starts innocently enough, a board meeting at Newman Enterprises. Victor calls the meeting to address recent data leaks, suspecting a mole. His tone is severe. Audra arrives late. When she does, she's dressed impeccably, but her expression is unreadable. Victoria eyes her cautiously. Nikki remains tense, and Adam leans back with a smirk. It's clear Audra has burned too many bridges, but no one is prepared for what's coming. Victor demands to know if Audra had anything to do with the confidential information being leaked to an overseas competitor, a move that cost Newman Enterprises millions. She denies it, of course, but Victor pushes harder than ever before. That's when Audra snaps. Her voice rises. Her eyes shine with long-suppressed fury. "You want to talk about betrayal, Victor?" she hisses. "You want to talk about damage? What about what you did to me? When I was 19? When I was just a powerless intern, and you were the mighty Victor Newman?" Everyone in the room freezes. Time stops. Victor's eyes darken. "What are you talking about?" And then, in the most emotionally devastating moment of the year, Audra begins to tell her story. The real reason she came to Genoa City, the real reason she's been undermining Victor from the shadows, and the truth behind her deep, unhealed wounds. Broken Heart, a flashback to pain. We're taken back over a decade, to New York City, where a young Audra was a rising star at a legal think tank funded by one of Newman's East Coast subsidiaries. She was brilliant, a scholarship student from a modest background, hungry to rise, desperate to make her mark. When she was offered a summer internship on Victor's private legal team, she thought she had made it. But the environment was toxic. In her confession, Audra reveals she was emotionally manipulated and professionally sabotaged by one of Victor's trusted executives, a man who worked under Victor's direct orders to handle troublesome interns. She was assigned to work under him, promised mentorship, but was instead tasked with unethical jobs, forging contract drafts, ghostwriting legal memos without credit, and even lying to clients. She refused. She threatened to report it. But before she could, she was silenced. Victor, she claims, was shown falsified evidence of her insubordination and promptly blacklisted her from the entire Newman network. Within days, she was dismissed, humiliated, and warned by HR that she'd be sued for breach of contract if she spoke publicly. Audra remembers the last thing Victor ever said to her, a passing comment, cold and dismissive. "You're not the first to overestimate your importance. Move on." And so she did. She buried the pain. She reinvented herself. But she never forgot. In present-day Genoa City, Victor stares at her, stunned into silence. The room is thick with tension. Nikki looks shaken. Victoria, always skeptical of Audra, now looks horrified. Adam is speechless. Victor, in typical Victor fashion, denies it at first. If something happened to you, I didn't know. I never would've. But Audra cuts him off. That's the point. You didn't care to know. You were too busy building your empire to see who you were crushing beneath your boots. Then she drops the final bombshell. She wasn't the only one. Several interns, mostly women of color, were pushed out, ruined professionally, and emotionally destroyed. Some left the country. One attempted suicide. Audra has the receipts, emails, documents, testimonies. She's kept them all these years. She looks Victor in the eye and says, I came back to destroy you slowly. To take from you what you took from me, power, legacy, and peace. High-voltage Genoa City reacts. The fallout is immediate and overwhelming. Nikki confronts Victor behind closed doors. You didn't know? Or, you didn't want to know? She asks. Victor doesn't answer. His guilt begins to show. Even if he wasn't directly responsible, his negligence allowed real harm to happen. Victoria begins to question everything. She supported Audra's ousting, blocked her promotion, and mocked her ambition. Now she's rattled. Are we really any better than the men we condemn? She wonders aloud. Adam, surprisingly, sympathizes with Audra. He knows what it's like to feel shut out, betrayed, used. He begins quietly reaching out to her. Tucker sees an opportunity. He offers Audra something she's never truly had. Her own company, her own team, and revenge on Newman, packaged in $1 million deal. Meanwhile, social media erupts. A leak, possibly from someone inside Newman Media, releases snippets of Audra's story to the press. Headlines read, Victor Newman accused of corporate abuse cover-up. The Newman brand takes a hit. Stocks fall. Investors panic. Victor tries to go on the offensive, hiring crisis managers, issuing statements, but it all feels hollow. The damage is already done. The city divides. Some still support Victor. Others, especially younger professionals and whistleblowers, rally behind Audra. She becomes a symbol of corporate survivors everywhere. Crystal ball, the bigger reveal. But there's more. Audra isn't just out for revenge. She's been working with someone else behind the scenes. A mystery figure who knew about the old internship scandal. Who helped her collect evidence. Who has their own vendetta against Victor Newman. That person? Claire. The two women share a private scene near the end of the week. Claire thanks Audra for finally speaking out. They think they can rewrite history, Claire says, but not anymore. Together, they make a pact. No more shadows. We take them all down the right way. Clapperboard ending the week. A power shift. The week closes with Victor standing alone in his office. He watches an old news clip of himself from 20 years ago, proud, arrogant, untouchable. Now, that empire is crumbling. And somewhere across town, Audra sits at a rooftop bar, sipping a drink. Alone. Powerful. Finally free. In her purse is a sealed envelope, the first of many anonymous testimonies from women like her. She's building something. Bigger than Victor. Bigger than Newman.